Alright, so I'm starting to get a lot of questions with it being March now pertaining to beach season. I have a lot of people wondering what's the key to having that 6-pack or those 8-pack abs for their vacation that's going to fall in June or July, that 1 or 2 times a year that someone who's from Calgary might somehow find themselves in a situation where their shirt comes off and they want to look good for whatever reason. Let's face it, there is a certain level of vanity that comes with exercising and lifting. We all want to look good, we want to feel our best. So we are going to give you a couple steps today to get going on the road to beach season. Unfortunately, there's this big misconception right now, not right now, but for always really, that sit-ups or doing our core is what gives us that 8-pack. And yes, it does play a factor, but I would say that is less than 10% of the battle. The other 90% is going to be your body fat. So most of us right now sitting at home, if you're watching, you're probably sitting there with a great 6 or an 8-pack sitting under a couple layers of fat. So step 1, this is going to become kind of a 2-step video, let's say. Step 1 is going to be getting rid of some of that fat. So you got, let's say, a month and a half, and then I'll come back and I'll give you some keys for how we can start sculpting our core a little better. But first and foremost, we need to start hacking that fat. So how do we do that? First and foremost, diet. That saying's been around forever. Abs are made in the kitchen. And yeah, they are. Unfortunately, we got to be doing the right things in the kitchen. So if you do scroll down far enough in my old post there, you'll find my guidelines to healthy eating. You'll also find my guidelines to fat loss. Follow those, they're going to be good. But basically, to sum them up, be in 500 calorie deficit per day from your food intake, and then you could be in another 500 calorie deficit from your exercise. That's what we call a manageable weight loss, which would basically get you to around a pound or 2 pounds a week, depending on how hard you're going. So, so clean diet and a deficit of 500 calories in the kitchen. Then we also need to be doing our cardiovascular activity in the gym. So you can get on your treadmill, you can get on your elliptical, you can do your 30 minutes, your steady state cardio, that's great. If that's how you want to do it, go for it. I will say what's more effective and what we do here more at Young Fitness is going to be high intensity interval training. So that's getting your heart rate up into that 80-85% of your heart rate max, really pushing it for a minute, bringing it down to a recovery phase, pushing it for another minute, bringing it down to a recovery phase. Kind of like what you saw me do on the air bike a couple weeks ago as well. The last thing we have to be doing, and I'm going to talk to the ladies, we have to be lifting. You have to be performing your big lifts. You got to be squatting, you got to be doing deadlifts, you got to be doing bench press, and you got to be doing a big row. We need to be as metabolically active as we can. We need to get our biggest movers doing a lot of work. But I don't want to get bulky, right? You're not, don't worry, you won't. But if we can build a little bit of muscle, what that muscle does is work like the engine in our car. So if you put a Civic next to a Lamborghini, which one's probably going to burn more fuel? I actually don't know cars, maybe they're close. But let's say a Civic next to one of those big lifted trucks. Which one's going to burn more fuel? That big lifted truck, because it's got the bigger engine. So all we're trying to do when we put on a little bit of muscle is increase our engine size. So we're burning more of our food, our fuel, when we're at rest, when we're at work, throughout the day. So those are going to be your 3 big keys over the next month and a half, and then I'm going to come back and show you how to sculpt your abs with some low rep stuff. Crazy, low reps, unbelievable. So eat clean, get your cardio in, build some muscle. We'll see you in a month and a half.